The current Ballon d'Or race between Raphinha and Mo Salah is getting kinda intense. Week after week, one does something and gets Ballon d'Or shouts, then next week the other does something and they've been going back and forth. Salah's raw numbers are better, and Liverpool pretty much have the Prem title locked up at this point. Not even us Arsenal fans are delusional enough to really have hope there anymore. I gave up like a month ago, I'ma keep it a buck. On the other hand, Raphinha has the edge outside of the league. He's already won a trophy this year. He has numerous elite big game performances in the Champions League like Bayern, Benfica away twice, and Dortmund away. Not to mention the fact that he fried Real Madrid twice already this season and recently had an elite performance against Atletico in the Copa del Rey. My biggest problem with the whole argument between these two is how much standard stats are being used as the only criteria. Oh, Salah has more goals and assists. Oh yeah? Well, he has like 1 million penalties and Raphinha doesn't take penalties. Oh yeah? Well, take out those penalties and Salah still blah, 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 blah. And sure, the basic stats are obviously a big part of the argument, but does it not get a little boring to treat the whole thing like math class instead of a sport that has full 90-minute games? A while ago, I made that video about aesthetic bias and how annoying it is to act like stats don't matter at all, but the opposite is equally as annoying. Simplifying the game to the numbers on a sheet of paper is a ridiculous way of viewing it. There are full 1.5 hour matches going on here. What are we talking about? Everybody knows the saying, stats don't tell the full story for any sport, but it's way more true for football than it is for basketball. Basketball, I feel like analytics are often much more descriptive of the full story of a game, especially when you get into the advanced stats. Moving away from the whole Ballon d'Or argument, you could look at how people talk about Lamine Yamal's season. He hasn't been scoring a bunch yet, but he's been one of Barca's most impactful players along with Pedri and Raphinha. The recent Ballon d'Or power rankings came out, and there was this little fuss being made about Yamal being up there even though he has less than 10 goals, as if we're not watching him put on clinics week after week. I think he has the lead in dribbles completed across Europe by damn near 50. And the response to that is always, well, if it doesn't lead to a goal, it doesn't matter, but it does. It literally does. Yamal already has 15 assists this season, and none of that includes the numerous goals he's created with his playmaking and dribbling without getting an assist from it. Literally, Barca's last league game against Sociedad, Yamal didn't score or assist, and he still created a goal and was one of the nastiest players on the pitch. This notion that any performance by an attacker without a goal is ghosting, and any good play that doesn't result in a goal is pointless dribbling is ridiculous, and kind of shows a fundamental misunderstanding of the psychology of defenders and how taking advantage of defenses works. Even if a player is putting on a dribbling clinic but hasn't scored or assisted themselves, it doesn't mean they're having no impact. When a player is going crazy, it increases their gravity no matter the situation, and defenders are forced to pay more attention to them, which very often opens up opportunities for teammates. Players like Haaland obviously have this level of gravity every game no matter what because of how threatening they are. So even if he is having himself a shitter, he still has automatic impact every time he steps on the pitch. When a player is putting up an insane performance, it creates a sense of panic in defenders every time they get the ball, causing them to make uncharacteristic mistakes, rush their split-second decisions. Sometimes they leave their positions to come help, and it allows other attackers to take advantage. There's all types of good things that come out of the quote-unquote pointless dribbling. It's why once an attacker has that mental edge over the defenders, they often end up abusing them throughout the entire game. Beat them a couple times and now they're in panic mode. It takes an elite defender to stay calm when somebody got you on the grill. Henry often gets made fun of for his weak numbers in finals, and no matter how much I go hard for him, you can't really deny that he was an underperformer in finals. That 2006 UCL final is an Arsenal fan horror movie. Because of the numbers on paper though, it is easy to forget that he did show up sometimes, occasionally. The 2000 Euros final against Italy, he didn't score or assist, but he has some of the greatest defenders of all time on a platter. How many people can say they put Nesta, Maldini, and Cannavaro in a blender for over 1.5 hours straight? Nesta was the main one getting cooked. Look at him, he almost busted his ass right there. Cannavaro got dragged a couple times. Even Maldini caught a stray. Safe. He was on one that day. Yet, if you looked at the box score or whatever you want to call it, the shit still says 0 goals and 0 assists. So I guess none of this ever happened, and it was just another disappearance in a final from Thierry Henry. You could even argue that they don't score the tournament-winning goal if not for him. I deadass think he gave Cannavaro and Nesta PTSD, because on that last play when Perez drives forward with the ball, Henry is just standing there, and both Nesta and Cannavaro hesitate and sort of pause around him as if they expect him to pass it over to Henry, and it gives Perez the opportunity to burst towards the line and put in that Euro winning cross. He drew a yellow from Di Biagio and from Cannavaro in the first half alone. You know how much of an advantage you get from two of the other team's defenders walking on eggshells for the majority of the game? But nope, no goal, no assist. I guess he ghosted. Fear is one of the most important things in the sport, because once the defender is shook, you can do anything you want to him and he won't be able to do a thing. Pause, my fault. That sounded crazy. Vinny in the second leg of last year's Champions League semifinal is one of my favorite examples of an elite performance without a goal or assist. Poor Kimmich. He was getting fucking toasted and he just kept coming back to get wiped some more. Props to him for staying on the pitch the whole 90. I would have left, not gonna lie. Vinny's torture chamber on the left wing kept the momentum in Madrid's favor even after Davies scored. And momentum is literally everything in these knockout matches. I think he completed 7 or 8 dribbles? At least 5 of them were on Kimmich. He was taking straight back shots. Neymar is one of the kings of this shit. Even though he does have the numbers on paper to back up most of his performances, he does have a few where he didn't score and was still unreal. That Atalanta game back in 2020, he was just doing whatever. What was it? 15 or 16 dribbles, nutmegs left and right. He pulled out a hezzy cross at one point. I was like, what the fuck? You can't tell me it's pointless dribbling when some of his teammates are butt naked with no defender in sight because they're triple teaming Neymar. Let's be serious here. I don't even think people who say that really even believe what they're saying. Then to top it all off, he created the match-winning goal. It was literally a perfect goalless performance. Messi had plenty of these back when he was really young and he wasn't really a consistently great finisher yet. Teenage Messi would give niggas hell, but the crazy scoring numbers didn't start until a little bit later. That Madrid game away when he was 18, the game where Ronaldinho got a standing ovation, shit was hilarious. Helguera's ACLs damn near popped out of his kneecaps. Messi made him do the splits 3 different times. He did get an assist that game, but shut up. More recently, Saka had an absurd performance way earlier this season against Leicester where he didn't score or assist, but he completed 8 dribbles and created 8 chances and 4 big chances. Didn't get a single assist though. Christ, he was doing a disgusting carry job first half of the season. We're so ass right now, it's not even funny. Anyways, the point is, I feel like too many people are only on one side of the spectrum. Either they hate stats and only view things through the lens of pretty dribbling and aesthetics, or vice versa, and they hate aesthetics and view the game through only numbers and stats. There's literally no reason both can't be equally important, bro. There's plenty of goalless performances that I would take over certain hat tricks, to be honest. I mainly made this video because I was on the you-know-what app after Salah scored 2 penalties and Barca and Liverpool fans were at war because Barca fans were calling it penalty stat padding and Liverpool fans were doing the penalties aren't so easy thing, and then Barca fans started pulling out non-penalty goal stats, and then Liverpool fans started pulling out league stats, and then Barca fans responded with Champions League stats, and I was just sitting there like, is anybody gonna pull out some actual performances, bro? It gets to a point, bro. Having the same goal assist convo can get boring. If anything, pull out the advanced stats or something, bro. Anyways, what's your favorite performance where an attacker didn't score or assist but was still very obviously the best player on the pitch? Let me know in the comments. I'm gonna catch y'all later. Get ready for them second legs, y'all. Some people going home. Adios.